The Prime Minister and Labour leader started the new year in campaign mode. It had been expected that Sir Keir Starmer's speech would be the more significant of the two, but Rishi Sunak stole his thunder.
My working assumption is we'll have a general election in the second half of this year.
And I'm ready for it. The thought of millions of people right across our country putting a cross on that ballot paper. It's what we've been waiting for.
But they are going to have to wait a bit longer than many had expected. Labour had been planning for a May election and were hoping for a bounce from by-elections like Rutherglen, where they had their biggest ever swing from the SNP last year.
I think it needs to come as soon as possible. I think the Tories know that they're in for a big hit. So I think they're going to try and delay it as much as they can.
Food price going up, rent going up, electricity, gas. It's a lot. I think it should be as soon as possible.
I think some parties might be a bit anxious about it. I think all of them might be anxious.
As long as it comes this year, you know, something to look forward to, you know.
The Tories are way behind in the polls, but the Prime Minister thinks things are getting better.
We have turned the corner, the difficulties behind us, we can look forward to better times.
So you're ruling out a May election?
I said, look, my working assumption is that we'll have an election in the second half of this year, because in the meantime I've got lots that I want to get on with, and that means cutting people's taxes this Saturday. That's a tax cut worth £450 for an average person in work. We can do that because we've halved inflation. I want to keep going, managing the economy well and cutting people's taxes, but I also want to keep tackling illegal migration.
The watchword in the Labour leader's speech was hope. 18 times he said it.
We have to bring the country together, have to earn trust as well as votes, nurture a spirit of national unity. That's what's distinctive about our job this year. To truly defeat this miserablest Tory project, we must crush their politics of divide and decline with a new Project Hope.
His hope is that he can lead Labour to an election victory for the first time since 2005. Voters in Aberdeen and Inverness just want to get on with it.
As soon as possible, because I absolutely love the Westminster bunch.
Maybe time for change, but I have no idea who would change it for the better. I think the choice is so limited.
In the last year, polls have tightened in Scotland, with Labour closing the gap on the SNP.
This new year offers us the opportunity to reaffirm what we stand for and what our values are. And I firmly believe that our values are in tune with the people of Scotland's values when it comes to the European Union, when it comes to economic growth, when it comes to tackling the cost of living crisis, making sure that Scots in an energy-rich nation don't live in fuel poverty, and of course giving people of Scotland that chance to determine their own future. I think those are the values shared by the majority of Scots, and it's about time we got on with an election and see if they agree.
And this year we'll find out, although we still don't know exactly when voters will be going to the polls.